because the sheet I sent you is in the key of A. If we play an A major chord, we know what that looks like. It's going to be the 1, the 3, and the 5 of the major scale. A being 1, B being 2, C sharp being 3, D being 4, E is 5, F sharp is 6, G sharp is major 7, and back to the root. That's A. So if we're going to play an A major arpeggio, it's only going to have 3 notes. A is the root, C sharp is the 3rd, E is the 5th. So if I play like this, A, C sharp, E, if I just slur into that E note, it already sounds like we have something going on. All I did was play the arpeggio. Could play it the other way. I put the passing note of the B in there. Can't hurt anything. So it doesn't have a whole lot of color to it, being that it's only the 3 notes in the triad, that root, 3rd, 5. If we add the 6th tone to it, that's the F sharp. 1A, 1B, 2, C sharp, 3, D, 4, E, 5, F sharp is a 6. You could actually play a 6 chord like this. Just those 3 notes, 1, 6, and 3. You can always leave the 5th tone out of the chord if you don't have enough fingers. It doesn't really make the chord major or minor, just adds stability to it. If it's a sharp 5 or flat 5, certainly it's going to change the sound of the chord. But that would be one way of playing a 6. The other way would be we could play root A, C sharp is 3rd, F sharp right here. That's an A6. Some people might play it like this if they were going to add the A on top again. That's something you hear a lot in jazz and country. You know, if you hear a song that might end on a 6 chord. But that can be substituted for a normal A major chord as well. So say we're just going to add that F sharp note to the major arpeggio. So I'm going to start on F sharp. And that changes everything, just adding that one note. I played more than that time, I'm sorry. F sharp there. In the chord. But again, if I slur something there, that's a whole lot more color to it. But we're still basically only using the 4 notes there, adding the 6th. So I could, you know, anything like that, so you think about it, like we said, that's a 6 chord. If we're going to make that a dominant 7, all we're going to do is change that 6 to a flat 7, or so you would count, you could count up from 6 or down from 7. So usually most people count down from 7. So A1, B2, C sharp 3, D4, E5, F sharp is 6, G sharp is 7, and then back to the root again. So if we said a dominant chord is the same as a flat 7 chord, that would mean if we took a major chord, A major, took the 7th, which is the G sharp, but we're going to flatten it to G. That's where that comes from. So again, if we're playing a triad of an A major, and I'm going to add the flat 7 to it, boy, that changes everything again. So to get, and you can do all kinds of stuff with that, just with that one note. You know, you can, because it's adding that little bit of extra tension. But again, basically just a major pentatonic or an A major triad, but adding the flat 7 and probably slurring from the, rather than just playing the third here, I would go. So it gives a little bit more color. Okay, that's the 7. Again, if it's anything above 7, 9, 11, 13, all it is what note added to the 7th tone in the scale will give us that final number. So 7 and 4 is 11, 7 and 2 is 9, 7 and 6 is 13. So say for instance we go all the way to 13 there. So if I took a dominant chord, and remember we can leave the 5th out if we need to. So the main notes in a dominant chord would be the root, the flat 7, and the 3rd. So these guys here. So we get, well, how am I going to make that a 13? Because the 6 and 7 are right next to one another. So here's the 7 chord, flat 7, here's the 6 chord. Big difference that one note is making. So I can't add them next to each other, so I'm going to add it right here. So sounds like a whole lot. It's not. Basically, it gave us, we added 2 notes to our major arpeggio. We had 1, 3, and 5 to start with, then we added the 6, which was F sharp. Then we added the flat 7, which was G. So all it is kind of picking and choosing at that point. But if you look at it and go, well, wait a minute, so the 9 is nothing but 7 and 2. So all those times when I was going, there's my 9. But that's what's giving it the color again. A lot. Something very close to that, but but it's a matter of that flat 3 to the major 3rd, and then you have the 6. But all we did was add 2 notes. We added the F sharp and the G to that A major triad. That's all we did. When you get into playing these things in a little bit different chord shapes, the inversions, you know, we usually think of a 9 chord looking like this. You know, the typical James Brown. This is a 9 chord here. This is an A dominant 9, but it doesn't have the root in it. It has the 3rd, the flat 7, the 2, and the 5. There's the root there. Some people will play that chord like this, so it has the root in it as well. But think about that, you know, all of a sudden you're going, well, God, that's a funny looking chord. It's the same as a C sharp minor 7 flat 5. That's called a half diminished chord. Don't worry about it, it's all the same notes. But if you're used to playing, say we're, there's my A7. Okay, so say we're going to play that A9 chord like this, and you'll hear this. It's an Allman Brothers shape. But say we were going, well, gee, I'm not going to start on the flat 7 or the root. I'm going to start on the third. Well, that sounds sort of jazzy, and all I did was play the notes in that chord, and then I walked it up at the very end. So C sharp is my third, E is the 5, G is the flat 7, B is the 2, C sharp is the third, E is the 5, flat 7 to 2, and then I just walked it up to the C sharp. But it's just a matter of, like I said, taking those couple of notes, adding it. But you can, like I said, if we don't have enough fingers, we can leave the 5th out. You can leave the root out too, just like we did on this 9 chord here. Because for one thing, there's somebody else is playing the root. If there's more than one chordal, or even if it's just a bass, somebody's playing the root as well. So that's how we try to look at this stuff. To it's like I said. Say an A7 chord is a hamburger. Well, an A9 chord might be a hamburger with mustard and onions. An A11 chord might be that with, with coleslaw put on it. An A13 might be the mushrooms and Swiss or something. But it's all still a hamburger. That dominant chord is all still a hamburger. Doesn't matter what we add to it. We can dress it up differently. But even something like on the A9, if I play that's root, third, 5, flat 7, and 2. So all I did was spell out a 9 chord, and then I just resolved it. Chords too, because I could play that would 9 times out of 10, if I'm playing A7, that's all I'm playing is those 3 notes, flat 7, third, and 5, because somebody else is covering all. But out of that, we could solo completely from that shape.